Brandi Dequin, joined by Tom Baber. We're here with Patches, and you're the pilot. Okay, I want to know about the history of Patches.
Okay. This airplane, Patches, is basically, this is the first race it's been in. It's actually, I'm borrowing it from a friend of mine, Dennis Buin, who runs 43, which is Midnight Miss. And he has another airplane in the race also that's race 12, who also raced in the bronze class. So this is the first time that this noble steed has been out for the races, and I was the guy that was able to go fly it.
What modifications are allowed on the T6? For example, like horsepower.
Okay, so all these racers, these T6 racers, anywhere from bronze to silver to gold, they're all stock AT6 Texans of different varieties. They're S&Js or Harvards from Canada, but they're all basically the same airplane. And so the technique involved with it is certain small modifications to the airframes. In the engines, the only thing you can do is try to make your engine a better engine than the gentleman next to you. And as you do that, obviously what that does is that talks about money.
So if the T6s are all the same, why is the gold class so much better than the silver and bronze?
Okay, so some of these airplanes have gone through a lot of history of flying here. Some of them have been flying here for 10, 15, 20 years. This airplane is its first year flying, and it's basically true stock. You can do certain things to the airplane, like, and I'll talk about it in a minute, maybe squeezing the cowling spacing a little bit, doing more things inside the engine to make it smoother and run better and faster. You can do some things with your prop, change props, make a prop a little different, as long as it still falls within the airframe of stock prop. So, but that's a big word, stock. So this airplane basically has got a racing prop on it, but the engine has not been tuned to the point yet where it can be run with the faster AT6s.
What are the little tricks you do to reduce drag?
Okay, so basically the airframe of the airplane is the most important because that's where the airflow comes across it. So you'll see different airplanes with a little different smoothing techniques. You'll see airplanes putting tape on certain parts of the airplane to try to smooth them out. The person that owns this airplane didn't want tape on it because it's got a nice paint job, and you're looking for a quarter or half a mile an hour speed to make a difference, right? So this airplane doesn't have any of those modifications. It has pretty much a standard cowling on it. It's got a race prop, but the engine is pretty much a standard engine and hasn't been fine-tuned to the point like the gold class has been tuned. So, and then the rest of it just involves actual flying techniques around the course, and if you put more G's on an airplane and you're turning, then you're taking away airspeed. So you want to fly as smooth and as tight a line as you can, and pull as few G's as you can, 1.5 to 2 G's versus 3 G's, and fly a tight line. In that way, half a mile or a mile an hour difference makes a lot of difference as the race goes on through 5 or 6 laps.
So what is your flying technique or tactics?
Okay, well, as a rookie, I came to the rookie school this summer, and you had to fly with instructors in the AT6 to check you out on the course, make sure you're safe. So I learned a lot of flying techniques there. But in addition to that, my background in flying, I'm an old fighter pilot. I flew F-4s for 23 years, and matter of fact, I was stationed in England my first 4 years at Huntington. I flew out of RF Falconberry. So my background in flying helps me come to this race, and you got to fly at 50 to 75 feet above the ground, so you got to do that safely. But then on guessing that you're racing other airplanes, so all of the formation experience I've had and flying close to other airplanes and tight and the techniques of that helped me a lot, because some people that are flying here, they're various backgrounds of flying. I come from a military background. Other people come from just like airline backgrounds or just civilian flying backgrounds, and it all meshes into a pot, and we all go out and race.
What is the stock T6 airspeed? Red line.
Well, good. These airplanes were never meant to fly at 240, 250 miles an hour. They were built in the 1940s and early 50s, and they were the advanced trainer for the pilots that were in the military that were going to go in and fly the P-51s and the P-40s and those type of airplanes. So it was an advanced trainer, and it was made to fly in the 140, 150, 160 mile an hour range. So we're taking these airplanes out with a big old nose and a big old 9-cylinder rated engine, and then we're forcing them up to 240 miles an hour,
wow.
which is they were never ever designed to fly at that airspeed.
Yes.
But men in their magnificent flying machines, we're going to get out and push the limits, and so we're pushing limits with this airplane that have never been seen before. I think the Dennis Buin, who owns the airplane, and 43, who won the gold today, his goal was to try to fly his airplane at 250 miles an hour. He missed it, but he was close. I think he came in at 247, so he's close to the record. But these airplanes are never made to fly at those airspeeds. Those would be kind of red line airspeeds in the normal world we live in, but not in these racers.
What do you love most about the Reno Air Races?
Man, I've been coming to Reno Air Races as a spectator for a while, and this if you're a fighter pilot or a pilot, this is pilot heaven. But this is the first time I've been behind the line with my own actual airplane to go fly and race as a steed. So just the excitement of the racing, for me, this is such a thrill to fly and race other airplanes, and it's something that most people will never have an opportunity to do, and now I can say I've had that opportunity, and I will be back next year probably racing another airplane in Dennis's inventory. He said he's going to give me a little more speed next year because I proved myself as a rookie.
Perfect, and I'll be back interviewing you next year as well.
I will be here. Come see me.
Can't wait.